TCG. Easy as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. TCG, baby, you and me.
Hello everybody, my name is Gio and I'm making a video today about the Hermitcraft TCG game in preparation to the new set that is coming up this January. The video is about the decks I have, the decks I want to build, and the cards I want for those decks. So let's get into it. The first of the decks is my PvP deck. This is a deck about making damage, making a lot of damage, and using the ability of Sonic Leo to use the best attack of each of my hermits. Currently, the issue this deck has is that I only have Wolf's Knight as the damage dealer. XP and falls are very good commons, but we can always improve into them. The other issue I'm having is that I only have a ×2 PvP item card, and if you notice, both Zombie Cleo and Wolf's Knight uses a triple item. So I would love to have the triple item. That's the first card I would like to get from the new arrivals. And when it comes to the rare hermits, I will need to replace XP and falls, which is sad because I love them both, but we have to do what we have to do to get a better deck, right? From the cards that are coming up, I would love to have a couple of Wolf's Knights, maybe a Human Cleo, and the Pogo's Keys. But even with the commons Smallish Beans, I will be happy to upgrade a little bit this deck and give it a little bit more of a toolbox, if I may say. I originally had a deck where I had a couple of Sonic Cleos preparing to use big attacks from other hermits. It was a fun deck, but at the end of the day, this one is a little bit better. I build my decks to play with each other. I bring my decks to my friend's house. I'm teaching my wife to play, stuff like that. So that's the goal of decks. I want them to be balanced between each other, but I still want them to be better every time. When it comes to item cards for this deck, I play Magma Type Armor, Iron Armor, Fishing Rod, which I believe it should be in every deck. So I wish to have a couple of them, a couple more of them, so I can build new decks. A lot of damage dealers. TNT is particularly good in this deck because it damages your Wolf's Knight, it damages your Zombie Cleo, and that makes the Wolf's Knight's Vengeance attack better. For those who are not familiar with what the attacks are and are new to TCG, but like Hermitcraft, in TCG you equip item cards to your hermits and unlock the attacks. Vengeance is an attack that deals additional damage the more damage your Wolf's Knight has. So the less life it has, it hits stronger. And Zombie Cleo's special attacks is named Puppetry, and basically can use any attack of your other hermits. So if you have the triple item cards on Zombie Cleo, you can use Blam, you can use Vengeance, you can use Eagle Eye, you can use any other attack on the game. And if you have another hermit, like for example Ito, which we're going to check on a moment, Zombie Cleo will be able to use either O Snappers or Blue Fire, which is pretty cool. So rare hermits are very important in this deck because Zombie Cleo can use their attacks, and those attacks have special abilities. And that's why I'm looking forward to get rare hermits to replace my XPs and my full symmetries, so the deck can use a little bit more of utility on it, because right now it's just a damage dealer, and this deck can be so much more, and I'm really excited about it. The next deck we have on the list is our Engineer or Redstoner deck. Here we only have two commons at the moment, Ito and Impulse. They're two very good cards. Ito burns the opponent, so deals damage over time. 20 damage at the end of each of your opponent's turns, even if the opponent goes AFK. An impulse have a damage of 70 on their boomer attack, but if you have an AFK tango, you hit an additional 40, and if you have 2, you have an additional 80. So it can hit for 150 damage. This is a deck that it's built to not leave your opponent rest. All hermits are in danger at all time when you are putting pressure with the red stoner deck. And I'm looking forward to have an additional engineer ×2 card and a couple of additional engineer items. You will notice that we have very few hermits in this deck compared with the PvP one, and that's because this deck originally was a 2-type hermit deck with the farmer type on top of it. But I believe red stoners worked very good by their own. And in addition to these cards, I would love to have another copy of Impulse. Okay, so the Tango Tech Impulse strategy would be more consistent, and another Etho would be great. On top of Etho, we also have the option to have Evil X on this deck. But Evil X is common that has 290 life. Their main attack is a 90 attack. It's a new card, which is very good. And the Sumaboy Rare card from Season 1 is basically a card very similar to Etho, but instead of making the opponent burn, it poisons the opponent's hermit, which basically also makes damage over time. But the main difference is that poison does not kill, but it does deal more damage. For the new cards, not only the common Exuma will be a card I would love to have, but also a copy of Shady E. Shady E is Etho's alter ego from Season 6, I think, or Season 7? I don't really remember, but it was pretty cool, and the card is pretty cool too. It has an attack called Scale of Ethics, which deals an additional 40 damage to the 80 damage it already deals when you have less AFK hermits than the opponent. So regularly it hits 80. If you have less AFK hermits, you will deal 120, which is a big boost. With this card, I will make this deck a standalone deck, which is pretty nice. And hopefully we can get 1 or 2 of the copies we're looking for on the new set. Third on the list, we have our Farmers deck. Now, I only have 2 rare Farmers, Iscal and Doug M77, but Farmers do have one of the best common cards in the game, which is Sumaboy's common card. I have more copies of Suma if I need to use them, but I would like to focus on the rare cards I would get. Another copy of Duck would be great. World Leader is a nice attack. A risky attack, but a nice attack. It doubles the damage if you win a coin toss, or if you lose the coin toss, is half. So you can either hit 40, or you can hit up to 120, which is pretty nice. For the farmer list, I already have the 3x2 items, which is pretty good. It has made this part of the deck very consistent when I play with it. But I'm missing some regular farmer type cards, so hopefully I can get a few on the deck. Now, what cards can I get to improve this deck? Not only the extra Sumaboy deck, which I already have, but the art is pretty cool too, so I'm looking forward to get all the commons. But also, you have Joe Hills from Season 1. Joe Hills is pretty good. Season 1 of the game, by the way. Joe Hills is pretty good. It has the time skip attack is one of the most powerful attacks from Season 1. Basically makes your opponent lose their entire turn after it hits, and it hits by negative. It's a very nasty, very strong ability. The only caveat is that you can only use it once, and the next time it will automatically fail to skip your opponent's turn. From Season 1, you also have the rare version of Tango with the extra flea attack, which replace itself with another Hermit after it attacks and force your opponent to replace their active Hermit as well. So basically, when you have a Hermit on the field AFK and an active Hermit, you attack and then you go AFK and put another one on the field, which is a nice strategy if you know how to use it. Extra flea hits 100, so it's pretty good, and Tango has 290 life, so it's a strong card to say the least. In the newer set in Season 2, the cards I would like to have here are Poultryman, which is Grian's alter ego, which works with the egg card, so I would like to I'll also be looking for egg rare cards for Poultryman. Basically, when you play it with egg, the egg is returned to your hand instead of being discarded, and make this a very nice item card that we can check on later. As I mentioned, I would like to have Poultryman and maybe 2 or even 3 egg cards. And the other card that comes into mind is Potato Boy. Potato Boy has a first attack that is only damage, 90 damage for Volcarvo. And then you have a regular attack which only makes 30 damage, and it's any item card type of attack, which heals your adjacent Hermits by 40. So you have your dog damage, your Suma Boy damage, and then you have your Potato Boy in the middle, so you hit the opponent by 30, but you're healing your Hermits, which is something very nice, something very strategic that you can use. For example, you can bring Tango, make a big hit, change for Potato Boy, and then have Potato Boy heal your Tango before it goes again into the field, and then you can keep switching and changing and hitting 130 while your cards keep getting healed, which is a very nice strategy that you can try within the game. That's basically with the decks I already have built: farmers, engineers, and PvP hermits. But of course, there are a couple of new cards that I have. I already part of my order. There are 2 pre-constructed decks that come with a couple of very nice hermits, and of course the item cards that you will use with those decks are something that you have to take into consideration too. So let's take a look at what I have ordered and what are the cards that I'm looking for based on my collection. Now, looking at this page, you may think that the next deck I would like to build is the Builder deck, but no, I'm thinking of building the Balance deck. I actually ordered the Precon as part of the order I made from Season 2. There are a few reasons for that. One is that Balance does not have additional damage dealt to it, or it doesn't deal any additional damage to any other type of Hermit. The other one is that some of the rares are very good and I wanted to have them. The Precon had 1 copy of each. But the main reason is because my favorite card of the new bunch is 5 AM Pearl. I love Pearl's Moon. She's one of my favorite hermits, and this art and this alter ego had a lot of pretty cool stuff attached to it. The story of the character, it comes from the Life series. Most of you already know this story, but it's pretty cool. I was told if you want to go to check the I think it's third life of that particular season of the series, but it's pretty nice, and I want to make 5 AM Pearl work, the alter ego of Pearl's Moon once again, which works with the Wolf card, where you have a wolf attached to it. The Ducks of War attack deals an additional 30 damage, usually 70 with the Dogs of War, with the Wolf card. It deals 100, and the effect of the Wolf still applies. So when somebody attacks Pearl, it gets 20 damage dealt to it. So that's pretty good. I would love to have a couple of Pearls and 3 Wolves in my deck so I can make this as consistent as possible. On top of that, some of the rare cards that comes in balance are pretty good. You have Beetledust with the dual Opacity attack. It deals 100 damage for just 2 item cards. But on top of that, if you use the attack consecutively, it deals 10 less damage. But still, hitting for 90 or hitting for 80 attack is pretty good. Before you get just Beetledust to go AFK or it gets eliminated. Either of the two, it's fine because it does its job, and Beetledust already has a big life of 300, which is the top life for a Hermit in this game. The other 2 rares are very good too. You have Lamellat, which is Vintage's alter ego card. It has an attack called Matilda, which flips a coin, and if heads, it does an additional 40 damage for 120 in total, which is pretty good. 190 life too, so it makes sense. And the other one is Evil X, which is Kisamaboid's alter ego card. It does 40 damage without even having to have an item card attached to it. But if you happen to attach 2 to Evil X, then you can flip a coin, and if you win the flip, it goes to head. Choose one of your opponent's active Hermits, and their attacks for that Hermit are disabled. Or you choose one attack for the Hermit and you disable that attack, which will make a big dam of your opponent's next turn. With 80 damage and 280 life, it's a pretty solid card. But I'm not gonna lie, the main reason is because I just love Pearls and Moons cards, and 5A Pearl is my favorite. Now yes, I do have a lot of builders, and I'm not sure if I will be able to build this deck, but if I can, I will. Ren is a very good card. You can use the opponent's attacks against them. Scar is a very resilient card, which comes back to life with 50 HP after it dies for the first time. You'll have to use the Scar's special attack first, of course, the Death Loop. And False Symmetry heals any Hermit for 40 damage when you attack. You have to win the flip, but that's okay. On top of that, you have Vintage Beef, the creator of the game, and now you will notice that this is a very resilient deck. They refuse to stay dead or heal each other, which is pretty good. I don't have too many cards for this deck, and the new card that comes in Alter Ego Season 2 is Skissleman, the original card, which is one of the newer Hermits, a pretty cool one. He has an attack called Gaslight, which at the end of the turn deals additional 20 damage to each of your opponent's AFK Hermits that took damage this turn. So it works pretty well with burning effects and with poison effects. Also with cards like the bow and arrow, or cards that deal damage to AFK Hermits in general. Also has 290 life, which is once again something cool. And then you have King Joel, the alter ego of Knowledge Man's Joel in the server. Joel has an attack called Steal, where flips a coin, and if it comes to heads, you choose an item or attached to an opponent if you're Hermit, and you attach that to one of your AFK Hermits. So it's again another utility card, helps with the resilience of the builder strategy, And it will be a cool deck to build if I can, but that's not one of my priorities, even when I love this art score. Now, for the new cards or new arts that are coming, I want all arts from Gemini Tay. Both Gem and Pearl came in on season 8, which is where when I start watching Hermitcraft, and I really like them both. I think there's some kind of they're special to me just because I start watching that season. They came in during that season, so I really like them both, and I want them their cards just because of that. They also are builders, and when I play Minecraft, I try to be a little builder myself. I'm not as good as them, of course, but I still like the way they play the game. I still sustain that Gem should have a PvP card and Pearl should have a Prankster card, because that's who they are. They're very good at those part of the game. The Hermits, they are special, all of them. They do a lot of great stuff. But yeah, those are the main cards I'm very excited to get, especially for my decks. I do play a lot of TCG games, so when Vintage created this game in Hermitcraft, I've been obsessed with it since the start. And I love to build decks, I love to play games, and yeah, I hope I get some of the cards I'm looking for, try to build the decks I want, and I hope you get the cards you are looking for. I'll be, as always, in the Career Card Discord channel. If you are part of there, maybe we have had some chats in there about the Hermitcraft TCG. And if not, well, I hope you keep enjoying the content of all these great people, and thank you for watching my video. Once again, I'm Gio, and I hope all of you have a very nice day. Goodbye.